This brings up something that has been really useful for Nan and I, and it's the concept of the grief garden. And, we're talking about the other parents. They immediately get brought into our grief garden
Mhm.
because they're safe, because they get it.
Mhm.
They know you can laugh at a joke and not be laughing on the inside, and your whole world is not okay now, right? And sometimes people who don't understand this journey think, oh, Ron's better because I saw him smile. If only you knew, And
Yeah.
so your grief garden is your place where
This is
you're
from a
sad.
friend who is 10 years ahead of me. And she said, Nan, it is your job to protect your grief garden. It's your grief garden with Connor. And it's your job to protect it, who you let in and who you allow to be in that sacred space with you and Connor.
And who you don't.
And who you don't, or you escort out.
And therein lies the rub,
Mm.
because sometimes the people you don't want to let in are family,
Or close friends that you thought.
and they can't do grief. They just can't do it. They can't do it with our intensity and for the length of time.
Mhm.
And they just come in and trample all the roses. You don't want those people. So you have to learn how to be discerning about who you let in. We're even going to put a number on it because I heard it a few months after Connor died. I went to a lecture by this famous grief counselor, and I wanted to learn something that would help me. And I got this one thing, and it was great. He talked about your therapeutic third. He said, when you go through a big loss, a third of the people in your life are actually antagonistic to your grief. They are not helpful. They don't have the skill set. There's another third that are sort of in the middle. Some days they're good for you. They'll bring you a meal. And other days they're saying something stupid. And then there's about a third of the people in your world who actually sort of have the gift of compassion and mercy. And they'll sit and they'll talk and they'll let you tell the same story 100 times. And they never say, can we move on? They won't do that. They're just really okay in hard places. Then I have determined that that's applicable for most forms of grief, but we actually think parental grief, you have a tenth. There's about 1 in 10 people in your world, friends, family, neighbors, church members, pastors, who can actually sit with you in your grief garden over time. The hard part is figuring out who that 10% is. Actually, it's not so hard. The 90% show themselves pretty quickly. And you got to be sort of kind and just say, yeah, no, I'm not going to unload my heart with you right now because you're just not good for that. But the one you find, man, you hang on to them and you bring them into your grief garden on a regular basis and you let that serve you well.